I'm Martin, and I'm turning 54 this year. I've been working in sales at a certain company, and there were even rumors of a promotion. I've been able to achieve the results the company wanted, so the promotion will probably become a reality soon. My beautiful wife is a stay-at-home mom. She sees me off to work every day, and she greets me with a smile when I get home. Our adorable daughter will soon be in elementary school. Every year, she gives me a handmade present for my birthday. I always look forward to seeing what she'll give me. Both my family life and my career have been going smoothly. I've been living each day with high spirits, dreaming of a mundane but peaceful future, achieving results at work, getting promoted steadily, and retiring.
Martin, there's something I want to ask you.
Yes, what is it?
I want you to handle the next deal.
My boss was asking me to handle a deal that was unprecedentedly large for the company. This would be my first online negotiation, but I thought it would be fine if I got some help from the younger employees. My anticipation grew more than my anxiety for this first online presentation. This was a golden opportunity that I'd been wishing for. I was so thrilled that I accepted the offer immediately. I've been entrusted with a big deal.
Wow, that's great. Good luck.
My wife was very pleased with the news. I thought that if this deal succeeded, I would take the family on a vacation. I was counting my chickens before they hatched. But the result was a complete failure. I'm sorry.
If I knew it was going to be this bad, would have asked a younger person.
My presentation in an unfamiliar situation was a huge embarrassment, and the negotiation fell through. I asked a younger employee for help, but I couldn't handle the online presentation at all. I asked a young employee for assistance, but because the deal was so big, he was intimidated, and I couldn't get the cooperation I needed.
I'm disappointed in you.
I ended up being demoted. What was supposed to be a smooth life turned into a downward spiral.
It's okay. You just have to do your best in the new place.
At first, after being demoted, my wife encouraged me, saying those words. However, her face was tense, and she was forcing a smile. Telling myself that things were still okay, I headed to my new post. Things didn't go well with my new boss either, and my mistakes increased with stress. The more irritated and frantic I became, the worse things got, and I couldn't sleep.
What's wrong? You look terrible. Are you okay?
I couldn't even smile at my daughter's words. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't move from the bed, even though I couldn't sleep. My cell phone was ringing every day with calls from work. Exhausted from lack of sleep, I ended up in the hospital. My boss read the doctor's note explaining my absence and said,
Focus on your treatment.
That's how I was easily fired from the company where I had worked for many years.
I have something to tell you.
Where has my beautiful wife gone? She's looking at me with very cold eyes. A few weeks after I became unable to go to work, I was handed the completed divorce papers. I can't believe, even you guys. Feeling an indescribable emptiness and sorrow that seemed to crush me, I stamped the papers. As I left, neither my wife nor daughter ever looked back at me. Left alone in the house, I felt a keen sense of having lost everything. At that moment, I felt as if my soul had left my body. I couldn't muster the energy to do anything, only waking up to eat and otherwise sleeping. My wife didn't ask for child support. Perhaps it was a small mercy for me, who couldn't work. There was no savings left that would allow me to live for the rest of my life after taking out my wife's share of the property. I decided to apply for unemployment benefits for the future. I found myself in the employment center, a place I'd never had a connection with before. It was dimly lit and reminded me of a prison. Crowded with people of various ages and genders, it was bustling with activity. I managed to finish a general explanation and the paperwork while feeling overwhelmed by the atmosphere. Job listings were available for anyone to browse, and I tried to find positions that I could apply for. I realized there were age limits for career advancement and that it would be difficult to find employment at my age. Reality seemed far harsher than I had thought. My naive belief that everything would work out was easily shattered. Witnessing the difficulty of finding a new job, I left the employment center as if fleeing. Though the process was over, my mind had not yet caught up with the difference in my life and environment. Why has it come to this? I felt as though I was being swallowed up by negative thoughts. But the human body is honest. My stomach made a dull sound, signaling hunger. I hadn't eaten anything today, as it turns out. Wanting to change my mood, I stopped by a convenience store I saw. Having left all household chores to my wife, I was now faced with the problem of meals. Nowadays, there's plenty of deli items and ready-made meals available, so finding something to eat isn't a problem. However, eating alone always reminded me of loneliness. It seemed like I'd be relying on convenience store food for a while. As I headed to the ready meal corner, I spotted a young girl in the bread section. She was so skinny it looked like she might break. Acting suspiciously and looking around nervously, I checked to see if there were any parents around, but since it wasn't mealtime, there were no other customers except for me and the girl. Her emaciated appearance, which could be seen as strange, reminded me of my daughter. She seemed even younger than my daughter. I became concerned and couldn't take my eyes off her. Suddenly, the girl grabbed 2 pieces of bread and quickly hid them under her clothes. It took me some time to comprehend the crime that had just taken place before my eyes. Words inadvertently escaped my mouth at the unbelievable reality. Whether she heard me or not, our eyes met, and the girl froze on the spot with a surprised look when she noticed me. Her confusion was apparent. This was shoplifting. From her bewildered appearance, she must be troubled by being caught. I squatted down to talk to the little girl. "Sweetie, what's your name?" I spoke slowly and gently, maintaining eye contact. "Did you come here alone?" The girl remained silent, looking down. "What are you going to do with that bread?" I pressed, sure of what was happening. Then the girl, who had been silent until now, flinched.
I'm sorry.
She apologized in a faint voice. "Why are you apologizing?" She seemed aware that she had done something wrong.
I only have $1.
The little girl pulled $1 from her pocket to show me.
So, I'm sorry.
A small girl, hungry enough to steal, yet apologizing for doing something bad, looked very pitiable. I asked her name again.
Anna.
Finally, she lifted her face and told me her name. "Anna, did you come here by yourself?" When I asked, she paused a bit and then nodded slightly. Up close, she looked painfully thin and not very clean. Anna seemed like my own daughter, who might be hungry. "I'm feeling hungry, Anna. I can't decide what to eat. Do you know anything tasty?" When I asked, Anna's face brightened.
Yeah, I know something.
This time she answered cheerfully, unlike before. "You see, I don't come to convenience stores much, so I'm a little lost. Can you help me?" I placed the bread Anna had hidden into the cart and she began to recommend various food items, from deli menus and bread to lunch boxes and snacks, filling the cart with more food than I could eat alone. After paying for the large amount, I called out to Anna, who was still looking around the store. "Thank you, Anna, for helping me find something tasty.
You're welcome.
You know, I had so much fun that I bought too much. Would you like to help me eat it?" As I spoke, Anna's face showed confusion. Her hesitant response told me she was holding back, and I nodded understandingly. "I bought too much and can't eat it all. I'd be grateful if you could help me out," I said with a look of concern, and Anna's face brightened up.
Then I'll help you. Let's eat together, sir.
She said, proudly puffing out her chest, and gave me a sweet smile. The moment I saw Anna's smile, my daughter's face, long gone, came back to me, and I was choked up. Anna and I moved to a nearby park. Together we picked our favorite items from the plenty of food we had bought, and enjoyed our meal. It was as though I was having a picnic with my daughter, and my heart felt a satisfaction it hadn't felt in a while. "This sure is tasty."
This sure is tasty.
Anna smiled happily, and we spent a blissful afternoon together. Our bellies were full, and the joyful time quickly passed by. Before we knew it, it was twilight. It had grown quite dark, and it seemed to be time for Anna to head home. "Anna, is your home close?"
Yeah.
she said, sounding sad. "Can you get home by yourself?" I asked, and Anna fell silent. Did she worry about getting scolded by her parents for being late? No, why is this child? Various thoughts swirled in my mind. Why was Anna hungry in the first place? "It's getting dark, so I'll take you home, Anna." Anna's face relaxed.
Okay.
She replied, seeming a bit relieved. Were her parents at work? As I walked Anna home, I asked about her parents. But the more I asked, the darker Anna's expression became. The further we walked, the heavier her steps. After walking for a while, we reached an old apartment building.
Here.
Anna pointed to a room stuffed full with mail. The gloomy atmosphere felt like a different world from the joyful time we just had. The door wasn't locked, and Anna opened it with a practiced hand. "Excuse me." The moment I opened the door, a strong, foul odor hit me. I peered inside fearfully. Garbage was scattered from the entrance, and I could see trash bags in the back of the room. I steeled myself and stepped in. The hallway was so filled with trash that there was hardly any place to step. As I carefully made my way forward, I found Anna sitting on a futon, the only place in the room that seemed habitable. "When was the last time you saw your mom?" Judging by the state of the place, it seemed Anna had been alone for a while. As I shifted my gaze from the mountain of trash to Anna, tears welled in her eyes, and she fell silent. "Ah, don't worry. Your uncle will call your mom."
Really?
Really. I found myself speaking in a cheerful tone, trying to reassure the child. As I moved the trash aside to look for the mother's contact information inside the house, I discovered that one garbage bag was overflowing with receipts. Among the trash, I found something out of the ordinary, a business card for a law firm. A business card for a law firm. Feeling desperate, I decided to give them a call. I explained my situation to the woman who answered the phone, identifying a name that I thought might be the mother's from the invoices. Unfortunately, I didn't find anything resembling the father's name, so it might be a single mother family.
Please hold on a moment.
After the woman's voice, typical hold music played. After a while, a man answered the call.
I've heard the situation. I know it's quite an imposition, but could you take care of the child until tomorrow?
Poor Anna, if her mother doesn't come home today. But is it socially acceptable? A minor girl with a stranger. If I were the parent, I'd definitely hesitate. Is it really okay for a stranger like me to take her in? And the child herself hasn't. I looked at Anna as I spoke. She was holding her stuffed animal tightly, looking at me, perhaps anxiously. All right. I just couldn't bear to leave her alone in that place, and that feeling overcame me. I gave them my name, address, and contact details, and hung up. I approached Anna, who looked worried, and met her eyes to comfort her. Would you rather stay here until someone comes to pick you up tomorrow, or wait at your uncle's house?
Uncle's house.
Anna answered immediately. Though I asked, I was surprised by her quick response. All right then. Let's grab what you want to take with you, I said, hastily packing her belongings into a suitable bag.
We're going for a sleepover, right?
Anna seemed very happy. We'll wait together until someone comes to pick you up. I returned home with the business card, a few toys, and the food I had bought, filling my quiet house with Anna's cheerful voice.
It's a big house.
Yeah, it's too big for just me. I prepared a bath for Anna first. Before filling the tub, I took her to the closet and said, I know they're old clothes, but could you pick something you'd like to wear after your bath?
Pretty clothes. Is that okay?
There wasn't much to choose from, but some of my daughter's old clothes were still there. They were a bit big for Anna, but better than throwing them away.
Thank you, sir.
I felt a sense of relief at these words of gratitude. Anna had a great time. After eating breakfast the next morning, and spending some leisurely time together, the doorbell rang. Anna and I looked at each other instinctively. When I cautiously opened the door, there stood an elderly gentleman with a gentle expression. The moment he saw me, he bowed his head deeply. Are you the lawyer? As I asked, Anna, who had been hiding, peeked her face out. The elderly gentleman shed tears at the sight of her.
I'm truly sorry.
Anna was shocked, and I was bewildered, looking back and forth between the elderly gentleman and Anna.
I really appreciate your help this time. My name is David.
David introduced himself again and handed me his business card, expressing his gratitude. The card said he was the CEO of a major company. I couldn't believe that such a person was standing before me.
The lawyer will be here soon, so can you let me explain the situation? The lawyer you called yesterday will also be coming.
I invited David in and decided to hear him out. Anna's mother was David's daughter, and it seemed she was expecting a child with a man she was dating at the time. David strongly opposed the marriage, deeming the man unsuitable for their family line, and forcibly separated the man and his daughter. He insisted that his daughter give up the child and kept her under watch at home. But the daughter escaped the surveillance and ran away, married the man, and he tragically died in a traffic accident soon after. She never returned home, pregnant, and her whereabouts became unknown. David used every means to find his daughter, but all he learned were minor details. She had given birth to the child, struggled with life, and moved from state to state.
Back then, I did a truly terrible thing to my daughters. If I had just approved the marriage, this never would have happened. My daughter means everything to me. And to think I told her to give up such a beautiful child, I feel ashamed.
The elderly gentleman hung his head. He seemed to have shrunk in that moment. I was at a loss for words and didn't know what to say. Then, the doorbell rang again.
Excuse me, Mr. Martin. I need to speak with Mr. David. May I come in for a moment?
It was the lawyer I had talked to on the phone yesterday. Apparently, David's daughter had consulted with the law firm about financial troubles, and the same firm, which also operated a detective service, had been searching for David's daughter at his request. Since the daughter had been consulting anonymously, they hadn't realized that she was the one David was looking for. But when I contacted them about Anna and mentioned her name, the dots seemed to connect.
Your daughter is waiting at a nearby cafe. Would you like to talk to her?
The words of the lawyer seemed to surprise David, but he was clearly intrigued.
Of course. Let me see her right away.
I was perplexed by his excitement.
She wants to talk with just the two of you.
Now that's a lawyer for you. Unlike me, who is taken aback by the rapid development, he proceeded calmly and logically. The elderly gentleman seemed a bit disturbed by these words, but, after a quick glance at Anna, he responded firmly with,
Understood.
He asked the lawyer for the cafe's address, and then turned his gaze to me.
Could you please take care of my granddaughter?
Of course. With my consent, he left the room as if making up his mind.
Mr. Martin, I'm grateful for you taking care of Anna yesterday.
Oh, it was nothing.
Yesterday, we couldn't reach her mother, and David was far away, so we had to ask for your special help. David got there before me after finding out where his granddaughter was.
That's quite possible, given his enthusiasm. He seemed to be the type that's driven by emotion, despite his gentlemanly appearance.
Excuse me.
After a while, David returned, and there was an unfamiliar woman with him. Anna, who was playing next to me, ran to the woman. As she clung to Anna, the woman bowed her head in thanks and apology.
I'm really sorry.
She broke down in tears, apologizing repeatedly. I can't say I don't have mixed feelings. Please be there for Anna. Anna's mother had clearly learned her lesson. Through losing his daughter, the elderly gentleman had come to understand, and his daughter had learned about the harsh realities of life, the importance of family. Watching Anna smile, I sincerely wished that she would live a life filled with that smile. Anna and her mother went to live with David, and a month later, I was in the thick of job hunting. Reality was harsh, and I was rejected by several companies. However, I had a reason to keep going.
Sir, did it not go well today?
Yeah, Anna. I couldn't help but feel humbled by the little girl in front of me. She saved my spirit, and I was inspired to keep working hard.
Why don't you ask Grandpa?
No, that would be too much. Anna had been coming to visit a lot since that incident, always with her mother, of course.
Hey! Don't be rude.
Her mother's name is Luna. Luna was taken aback by her daughter's words and bowed to me in apology. Anna, now comfortable with me, threw some sharp words my way.
Shall I ask my father for you?
No, that's fine. These days, working for a big company is tough, you know. While we were talking, the doorbell rang.
Hello. Don't mind me.
David?
What's the surprise? I'm just here to pick up my daughter and granddaughter.
I didn't think the man from the stories would actually show up, and I'm caught off guard.
Oh my, you're in a suit. Something going on.
Well, you see, I'm flustered and at a loss for words.
Mr. Martain still hasn't gotten a job.
Anna. For some reason, I felt like prostrating myself. I wish I hadn't heard that.
What? Well then, at my place.
No, no, no. I shook my head at the unbelievable turn of events.
Don't worry, I'll train you properly.
I think that's a good idea. I think it's good too.
Initially, the three of us had a somber mood, but now we seem to have brightened up. Pushed along by the others, I find myself led outside the house. Excuse me, but where are we going now?
We're going to my house. We'll discuss the future plans there.
I couldn't say no to David's beaming smile, and I realized that I may have a long relationship with this family.